Welcome to round one of today's daily event. We're playing Goblins, and we are going to be on the draw. Our opponent's chosen to play first. We don't know what he's playing, and we've got a one-land hand with some burn, Goblin Sledder, and not much else going on here. Now, it's a little tough for me to decide because we do get to see an extra card. This means that the choice 2 mulligan, is pretty good, but to keep also gives us another shot at seeing a card. We can play 3 spells, and holy 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know what he plays. I'm actually going to lean on the side of keeping this, and we'll see how we do with it. I'm just not positive if that's what we want to do. We do have this 3-drop here. One more land just really sets this off. So, you know what? I'm going to keep, and we're going to see how we do with it. It's very borderline to me. I'm not sure what's better. So he's got a very interesting looking version of elves here. So we're going to have to type this down. He's got Rancor, Priest, Elves, Melody, Sylvan Ranger, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other card is Nettle Sentinel. So he's playing Elves. This hand is actually going to be pretty good, I think. He gets the Forest, and he gets a mana producer. So I think what we might want to do here is actually remove that creature. We don't draw the land. So if we remove the creature, he's got access to Nettle Sentinel, which we can also kill. And this keeps him off of Priest of Titania, Sylvan Ranger. So I think we are just going to use a Chain Lightning on his creature and hope that he doesn't get another one. Other option there is playing the Goblin Sledder, which just doesn't seem to be that good, and he has a second land grant, which kind of just negates what we did, and looks like he's going for a Priest of Titania. So his other cards are Nettle Sentinel, Sylvan Ranger. Hang on, everything is showing up twice here. Nettle Sentinel, Sylvan Ranger, Priest of Titania, Distant Melody. And we do get that land. So we can play a Sparksmith here. Which actually be pretty cool. The only thing is next turn he's gonna play Sylvan Ranger, get a land, play Nettle Sentinel, and play a Rancor. It's not that bad. I think having the Sparksmith might actually be the best we can do here. If he doesn't have a blue, he can't cast a Distant Melody. So other option is Goblin Sledder or War Marshal, but I think we're going to go with the Sparksmith. See how that does for us. I think the Sparksmith might be very good. Now he's going to kind of dump his hand here, but we're going to be looking pretty good after that. Wow, a third land grant is just insane to me. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but he hit 3 land grants and and had no lands. So now he's going to get another forest. He's got that, or sorry, an island. That makes a lot more sense. And he's got enough for Distant Melody. But we can remove some of these creatures in response. So he's going to go with the Rancor. I don't doubt it. He's going to put it on the Sylvan Ranger. Okay. So what I think I want to do is gun down the Priest of Titania. And then potentially... So his last card is Island, Distant Melody. And then potentially bolt something in response. And we can just play the Goblin Sledder after we use this Sparksmith. Other options include playing the Bushwhacker, playing the War Marshal, but I think we just want to start removing creatures here. So that's going to be my play. Take one, and we're going to play a Goblin Sledder. Now if he tries to use the Distant Melody, I'll probably bolt something. He's going to be hard-pressed to beat this. Let's just be real. So he's got Island, Distant Melody, Unknown. He's just going to go for the Melody right now. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt the Nettle Sentinel in response. And he's going to draw one card and not going to have any other plays. Then he'll attack us for 3, which is fine. We can Sparksmith his creature and then Bushwhacker him for 4, or we can set up with a Mog War Marshal, which I think is just going to be better here. So I'm going to take the 3 damage. We can also start matroning, but I think if we draw 4th land, we can War Marshal Bushwhacker, which is even better than playing the matron. So I'm going to attack him for 1. Then I'm going to Sparksmith him, and then I'm going to cast a a Mog War Marshal, which makes our Sparksmith a little worse from now on, but I think we're going to be okay just sitting on this. So we know he has Rancor, and I think everything else is sort of foreign to us. So he gets another Sylvan Ranger. Now we're definitely in the driver's seat. I might even let that War Marshal resolve, or I might let the War Marshal die and cast a Goblin Matron here, because all we really need to do now is just flood the board with our guys. And also one thing we can do is let the War Marshal die and then shoot his Nettle Sentinel, which will have us, well, he's got double Rancor. That's not a big deal. It'll shoot us for 3 while that's on the stack. So I think that's fine. We'll go to 11, and then we have plenty of plays to follow up. So I'm not very afraid. He's out of cards. So we're going to sacrifice it. And with that on the stack, we're going to shoot Nettle Sentinel. We go to 11. We're using our life total as a resource. And we probably will just play another War Marshal. We actually have a cohort as well. I'm fine trading a Sledder for a Sylvan Ranger. I'm going to play a cohort and a Mog War Marshal, and then next turn we've got a lot of power coming down on the board. And he's got a Rancor. So this Sparksmith completely dominating the game for us right now, in my opinion. I don't really feel like we're in a bad position at all. So we'll just wait and see what he wants to do. Oh, yep, that guy does not have haste, of course. So we put about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his guys in a box, which is pretty exciting. And we'll go ahead and do this. The only other option is we could matron for another Bushwhacker. But I think it's just going to be a little better. And now we look like the Elves deck because we're flooding the board with a number of powerful creatures. So he's got a Distant Melody, it looks like. Going to draw a card. Or he's got a 4-drop Elf. I think the 4-drop Elf is the one that makes 1/1s. So if he attacks, we're going to block with the Mog War Marshal and take 4. Timberwatch Elf. Okay. So let's see if he attacks. Okay, so with the Bushwhacker, we have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, so he has to block. And we're totally safe against a backswing. So I'm not going to pay the Echo cost. I'm going to Bushwhacker him with everything we have. and we even draw a second one, which I can play. Then he can block our biggest guy, and 2/2 we can. I think we just have him dead, right? We can sack whatever he blocks, and that gives us 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, something crazy like that. We could also just leave up a Bushwhacker number 2. I don't think he can go off on us. If he draws another Distant Melody, he gets 2 cards plus the one he draws a Distant Melody. Then he can only play one of them, and so he can hit us for max like 8, I think. So I think we'll just play this Bushwhacker and then Bushwhack everything else. I think that's going to be the best play. I'm pretty sure we can get a victory. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. And he's got a block. This seems pretty good. Though this hand is pretty crazy. We'll figure out the Goblin Sledder stuff as we go along. Right now, this is looking pretty devastating. So, he's got a lot of decisions to make. He can block this. We've got 6, 12, 14, 16 other damage coming through. So he has to block 2 creatures, which means we can just kill both of his guys and put him to 2, which I'm fine with. I don't see a problem with that at all. Now he's really tanking here. I guess we could think of the math. One of his obvious blocks seems to be, okay, GG. He doesn't see any way out of it. And we had some pretty nice draws coming up. So this guy's got Rancor, he's got Timberwatch Elf, Nettle Sentinels, and a lot of small elves. So what we want to do is make sure we're still playing plenty of removal to manage his board in the same manner that we just did. And then we are more of a control deck because his deck is a lot more explosive early on. So some of our more aggressive cards could potentially come out here. I think Martyr of Ashes is pretty nice to have in the main, though we have to be a little careful about what creatures we play out ourselves. And Sparksmith, as you saw there, I thought was really strong. So I'm tempted to bring in that 4th one. I'm just looking at this main deck, and I don't know exactly what I want to take out. I think Matron is probably fine to just kind of refill after we've used up a lot of resources. I think the Goblin Sledders are probably something we can shave off one of each, something like that. Though I'm not sure if I want to bring in Seismic Shudder. It seems good. That would equate to about 4 cards to bring in. So we could also shave a couple of these 2/2s for 1, but those pair up pretty well against the Nettle Sentinel. I don't see a lot of stuff that looks bad here, so I'm actually just going to shave one off of our copies of 8 creatures that we have. So these are some of our more aggressive cards in the 2/2s, and then the Sledders don't do a whole lot defensively. They will trade up with some of his guys, but I don't think having the full 8 is going to be totally necessary. We're going to bring in this 4th Sparksmith, and then we're going to bring in 3 Seismic Shudder, which I think will get us multiple creatures for the price of 1. Now, other considerations, Pyrite Spellbomb or Sylvok Lifestaff. I don't think the Lifestaff's very relevant because he's going to fill up the board to such an extent that he kills us using that Timberwatch Elf or some other kind of overrunning strategy. So gaining increments of 3 life is not really going to be a factor. And the Pyrite Spellbomb we don't really need. So I think this is pretty average, moderately good boarding, and I think we have a good shot here. So let's go to game 2. Right, we're in game 2 against an Elves deck, and we want to keep a hand that's very controlling. And this hand is fairly controlling. It has the same issue as before in that we don't have another land. We do have the Sparksmith, we have 2 removal spells, and we have a Mog Raider. So We have 3 spells we can cast that we're likely to cast, and then when we do hit those lands, if we do, I guess I should say, we get plenty of refill. So I think I'm going to keep this as well. I know it seems kind of sketchy to do, but we slow him down enough that I think it's going to be perfectly serviceable. And we draw a land right off the jump. First thing I want to do is remove this creature. We are going to be tapping out for Sparksmith on turn 2. So as long as he doesn't have a Gather Courage or a Mutagenic Growth, I think we'll be able to remove that. And that's pretty much the name of the game for the first couple turns. That's my plan. And he's got a Llanowar Elf on turn 2. We might actually just want to remove that as well, but I think we'll go with the Sparksmith to start things off here. So he can have, if he has a land, he has access to 4 mana, perhaps more if he's got the Birchlore Rangers or something, but I think the sooner we get this online, the better. He could have Hornet Sting or something like that. So let's see, he's going to plan out his turn. He's got to decide how many creatures he wants to commit to the board in the wake of this Sparksmith. We can potentially even matron for another Sparksmith. But I think these matrons might be better served picking up some Mogg War Marshals and Goblin Bushwhackers. Looks like he's gonna sting the Sparksmith. That would be my guess. Okay, so he's gonna just try and flood the board here. So we might be relegated to using the Sparksmith and using the Chain Lightning as well. Yeah, he's just gonna dump his hand, which is not a terrible play. Okay, he's got 2 cards left and a blue open. He can also add a color to his pool, so he could have a removal. So I'm going to try and get rid of the Birchlore Ranger first, and then I'm going to move to the next phase so that he doesn't have any mana left. Then I'm going to get rid of a couple creatures. I feel fine just burning 2 more creatures and leaving him with just a Llanowar Elf, to be perfectly honest. So let's do it. Alright, he didn't care to add any mana, so looks like we're in the clear. Yeah, I'm fine just removing some guys. So I'm going to take out the Nettle Sentinel for sure. And we can either wait on his upkeep or just do this now. The only thing we might want to save the Bolt for is like a more important creature, but we can still kill that with Sparksmith. I mean, maybe it's a little safer just to save the Bolt. But I think we want to kind of go for the jugular here. We're going to be tapping out a lot and getting more goblins, so I want to really just kind of cut him short. See, if he has a Distant Melody, next turn, he could just draw more action off of that. And I think doing this play is a little better because it keeps him off of that plan. Okay. Llanowar Elves, attack me. I think I'll take it. And then next turn we're going to attack you and get another Goblin Matron. Yeah, this seems fine. I don't see him coming back from this. So let's do it. He might have a Rancor, but he can't really race us when we're consistently taking out his best guy. So let's go ahead and get another Goblin Matron. There is a possibility he is running some counter spells or something like that. So, that's one thing to consider, one thing to think about. He's got another Nettle Sentinel. And if he attacks, I will definitely trade. Okay, so we actually draw a Seismic Shudder, which is interesting because it kind of goes against the current game plan we have. I think what we can do is go on the Goblin Matron plan and just assume that we're going to be able to win with that. And in case we hit some kind of roadblock, we have a reset button. So I'm going to take 3 and cut down his Nettle Sentinel. Then I'm going to attack him. I'm going to save the Mog Raider if he blocks it. And from there, I'm just going to play another Matron out. And we're going to start getting some some Mog War Marshals. We can actually get Bushwhacker and then have double Bushwhacker coming up. But Mog War Marshal, I think, is just a little bit safer. And yeah, that's it for me. So we should probably play a little bit faster. I am new to this deck, so I'm just trying to think of everything we can do. Timberwatch Elf is definitely going to eat another Sparksmith. And we draw a second one. I don't think that's too necessary. I think what we can do is play the Matron. He's going to take 3 here. And then the Matron gets his War Marshal Bushwhacker. And I think that's going to be enough to take him down. So we're going to take 4. Sorry, we're going to go to 9, which I think is okay. Sparksmith in matchups like this is just so powerful. So let's go ahead and get a Goblin Bushwhacker. And we're going to get ready to wreak some serious havoc. So we have the War Marshal, it's 2 more bodies. The Bushwhacker is 6, 12, 14, 16 attacking power. So he needs at least 2 blockers, and then, yeah, he's pretty much done. So unless he has a Moment's Peace or something like that, I don't see us losing this one. And we've really just cut down everything that he has. So far, at least. Okay, if he doesn't leave up Moment's Peace, I'm not going to be too afraid. Okay. Untap. Okay, he's going to Distant Melody. Oh, he's going to play a 3/3. Okay. We draw a Cohort as well. So is there any way we die next turn? He could have 2 Rancors. That's 3, 6, that's 9 exactly. But we can also sack, right? So we play the War Marshal, play the Bushwhacker. We have 6, 12, 14, 16. He blocks 2 guys, we still hit him for 14. So I don't think we can actually lose from this position. Am I incorrect? 2 bodies, 4 power. Bushwhacker is 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Only 2 blockers. No mana up. He can untap the Llanowar Elf, but we can still just make him take all the... No, we can't make him take all of it then. But he untaps the Llanowar Elf, he still has to sack some creatures. So we can wipe his board with this play. So I'm just going to go for it. I don't see any way that this backfires and gets us killed, so let's just go ahead and do it. Yeah, he can return the forest, but then that really limits the type of plays he can make. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yep. Untap. Block the Sparksmith. He has to block all 3. And block the Ranger. So what we can do is... I think we just want to kill his guys. So I say we sack a War Marshal to trade with the Huntsman and then kill his other 2 guys and make him take 8. And then we have backup. He takes 8, he goes to 6. He's not straight up dead. I think we want to save the War Marshal too. So I'm going to sack the Raider too. So I'm going to sack a token as well. So let's trade with you. And then we're also going to give you +1/+1 and sack this goblin. So you lose your whole team and you take 8. That seems good. We lose 2 guys. And that doesn't matter. And we just pass to you. You play a forest. We play any creature, and it's GG. So thank you guys for watching. This is the first round. Sorry I'm a little slow and hesitant to make plays, but I am very new to the deck. But we take round 1, so we can't be too upset. And we'll see you guys for the next round.